Hare Krishna. Namaste. Chapter 5, entitled as Karma-Sannyāsa Yogam. Sloka 2. śrī-bhagavān uvāca sannyāsaḥ karma-yogaśca niḥśreyasa-karāv ubhau karma-sannyāsāt karma-yoga viśiṣyate. So the first sloka was Arjuna's question. His question was, out of two that you have mentioned, karma-yoga and jnana-yoga, please tell me for sure which one is more beneficial, karma-yoga or the jnana-yoga. In other words, he has no time. He wants a definite answer. He doesn't want choices here. In the second sloka, Krishna starts responding to this question. Sannyāsaḥ, renunciation of work, that is the jnana yoga. Karma-yogaśca, performing karma-yoga itself. Ubhau, both. niḥśreyasa-karāv, will lead to the path of liberation. Both will lead to the path of liberation. Two, but tayoho, of these two, karma-yoga, karma-sannyāsāt, then jnana-yoga, viśiṣyate, is better. What it means is, the jnana-yoga and karma-yoga are both good for liberation. But of the two, karma-yoga is better than renunciation of work, which is jnana-yoga. That's the meaning of this sloka. So both karma-yoga and jnana-yoga gives the same result. That's the first thing we need to understand. Not that they're going to give some different result. Both gives the same result. A result of having a vision of self. Atma darshana. Atma sakshatkar. Both jnana yoga and karma yoga independent of each other. They can bestow the direct vision of self. Nevertheless, karma yoga is considered better of the two. The karma-yoga gives complete satisfaction within the experience of the self, because karma-yogi has no mundane desire. His one and only desire is to see the self, or one and only desire must be to see the self alone, nothing else. If a person decides something else other than the self, Atma, and if one doesn't get that, whatever he desired, then one naturally develops hatred towards whoever became the hindrance to achieve his desire. Whereas one who practices karma yoga needs nothing else and has no reason for hating anyone. He treats everyone equal. He treats the events that's happening around him equal. In this way, he gets liberated from the bondage very easily. Therefore, karma yoga, by virtue of its ease of performance, is superior compared to jnana yoga. The question is, who can take up jnana yoga? Who can perform jnana yoga? What are the requirements? For one to practice jnana yoga, two things are important. One has to be qualified. Number two, one should be free from the social commitments, loka sangraha. Qualification meaning qualification to take up jnana yoga comes through first getting engaged in performing karma yoga. That's a qualification. Of course, after a person fully engages in jnana yoga, he gives up karma yoga. He doesn't depend on karma yoga. That's a qualification. Whereas the second point is loka sangraha, means for the benefit of the society, or one who is free from the commitment to the society, social commitment. He is not a role model, or he doesn't have a followers, then that makes a person to take up jnana yoga. The reason it is important because a person may take up jnana yoga and the followers of that person may think that this is the best path to take, and they will also give up their duties and responsibilities, their karma, and they will enter into jnana yoga without the qualification, without they themselves having any qualification. So that's another problem. So to take up jnana yoga, these two are must. That is, one has to be eligible and one should not have any commitment to the society. So the next question comes, who does karma yoga? Answer is quite easy because we already saw the jnana yoga. If one is not qualified to do jnana yoga and one who has social commitment, they should do karma yoga. If one who is qualified to do jnana yoga but one is not free from social commitment, that's loka sangraha, they should do karma yoga. If one is free from social commitment but still not qualified to take up jnana yoga, they should do karma yoga. So Arjuna raises a question, if both the criteria satisfies, that is, one is qualified to take up jnana yoga and one does not have any obligation to the society, then can one take up jnana yoga? That's how it sounds. Krishna's response is not necessary. One can still continue to do karma yoga without having to go to jnana yoga practices by following what I have explained, Krishna has explained so far, and attain the same result just by following karma yoga. So Arjuna's follow-up question, if everyone comes to karma yoga, what will happen to jnana yoga practices? What will happen to the literatures, shastra, that specifically speaks about jnana yoga? They all will be of no use. Nothing should be of no use because they are also part of shastra. Then it has to be some way or the other useful. That's Arjuna's follow-up question. Krishna said, there will be always candidates for every field because it's all based on individual interest. There will be candidates for jnana yoga, there will be candidates for karma yoga, there will be candidates for bhakti yoga, there will be candidates for every field. So not to worry about or concern about it, Arjuna. Now, when we started the sloka, we stated that both karma yoga and jnana yoga are independent on each other. They are not dependent. A question would have raised in our mind that in previous chapters we learned karma yoga is free of jnana yoga, meaning to do karma yoga there is no requirement that jnana yoga has to be done as well, before or in parallel, nothing like that. But to enter into jnana yoga, it's not the same case. To get into jnana yoga, one should first do karma-yoga and purify their consciousness and then enter into jnana-yoga. It seems to be there's a dependency to take up jnana-yoga. Then why did we say initially that both are independent on each other? The response answer is karma-yoga is needed at the beginning for jnana-yoga, to do jnana-yoga. That is for sure. No doubt or question about it. But once one is fully taken up jnana-yoga, there is no need to be engaged in karma-yoga again. Karma-yoga was only like a ladder to climb up. Once you've gone up, you don't need that ladder anymore. It was just a stepping process to enter into jnana-yoga. Likewise, in karma-yoga, jnana-yoga is not needed. Jnana is needed, but jnana-yoga is not needed. In this way, we understand they are independent on each other. In the first half of the sloka, sannyāsaḥ karma-yogaśca niḥśreyasa-karāv, ubhau, which is response by Krishna to Arjuna. Arjuna's question was, between this, just tell me one that is best, one that is easier, one which gives a quick result. When I say 3 times, it's not 3 different things. He is asking between karma yoga and jnana yoga, which is best, easy, and gives quick result. Here, Krishna says both gives the same result. Rather than addressing Arjuna's question directly, he just says both give the same result. So what am I supposed to do? So in the second part of the sloka, Krishna responds directly to the Arjuna's question. Tayastu karma-sannyāsāt karma-yoga viśiṣyate. Compared to jnana yoga, which involves giving up the karma, doing karma yoga is best for you, Arjuna. Karma yoga does not bear the same faults that arises in practicing jnana yoga. There are some faults involved in jnana yoga while practicing. The fault in jnana yoga is that in case if jnana yogi, the practitioner, develops some sort of faults like attachment or commits some mistakes, he must again go back to perform karma yoga to correct the fault and purify oneself and return back to jnana yoga. Whereas in karma yoga, he doesn't need to do any such things if at all he commits any mistakes. There's no other process, no other method to purify him. So one continues karma yoga with sincere desire that itself will bring purity in oneself. Therefore karma yoga is better because it is easier to perform, it is safer, and on top of it, karma yoga contains jnana within it. Therefore, working in renunciation strengthens one's knowledge in the karma yoga practice. So to summarize, Krishna responded to Arjuna's question saying both leads to same result. But between this both, karma yoga is better compared to jnana yoga. Sannyāsaḥ karma-yogaśca niḥśreyasa-karāv, ubhau tayastu karma-sannyāsāt karma-yoga viśiṣyate. Namaste. Hare Krishna.